I'm sorry.
Frida has been a camp counselor for 6 years, and before that, she was a camper for 7 years. Her camp stories, she has more camp stories than personal memories. And in times of need, she calls on them to recomfort her. Sometimes, like listening to a song that illustrate our situation or how we feel, the two match up. So please, help me welcome Frida to tell us more about those times.
Once upon a time, there was an old man who was tired of the world. He retreated by living in a little cabin on top of a big cliff, on top of a big beach. He woke up every morning with the sun, toasted a bagel, and looked out at the beach. He went to sleep every night with the sun and slept a deep, dreamless sleep. He was tired of dreaming. When I was 12, my curiosity got the best of me, and I went up into my mom's room and rooted through her stuff. That's when I found the adoption papers. Now, I sat on them for 2 weeks. I hid them in my room. And after 2 weeks, I got up the guts to walk up to my mom and ask, "Am I adopted?" She said no. Now, one morning, the little old man who lived on the cliff toasted his bagel and looked out at the beach, and something caught his eye. Something was out of the ordinary this morning. Now, I woke up one morning, and I walked out of my room, and sitting on my old, ugly Argyle couch was my mom and my dad. Now, they had been divorced for 7 years, so it was weird that they would both be there at 7 a.m. My mom said, "Frida, your dad has something to tell you." I sat down between them. Now, the old man stared out the window, trying to figure out what was wrong with the beach. What could be so wrong this morning? My dad said, "Remember how your grandmother died of Huntington's disease?" I said, "Yes." He started crying. My dad never cries. I stared at him and wondered what could be so wrong with my father this morning. Now, the old man decided to investigate. He put on a big, heavy coat, and he started walking down the cliff to go look at the beach. He found himself right at the end of the beach. He looked out, and his jaw dropped. He stood there, shocked by what he saw. My dad said, "It's genetic." On the beach were thousands upon thousands of starfish that had been washed up by the storm the night before. Thousands and thousands of starfish lying on the beach, glinting in the sun. My dad said, "I got tested years ago. I have the gene. There's no cure." The old man realized that out of the water, all of these thousands of starfish were going to die. My dad said, "I'm going to get sick. I don't know when, but I will." I sat there, and the Argyle couch started to spin. Everything went blurry, and I gripped that carpet for dear life. The old man looked out at this beach covered in dying starfish and said to himself, "Oh well, it's really sad. There's nothing I can do. I'm just one old man." And then it occurred to me, genetic. That means I have it too. The old man looked off in the distance and saw a little boy running back and forth. He started to walk towards the little boy to investigate. My mom said, "We wanted to have a baby, but we couldn't pass the gene on." The old man walked closer and saw that it was, in fact, a little boy running so that you wouldn't have this disease. We found somebody who looked like me and who had similar heritage, and we used his genes to make you a healthy baby. And the old man started walking quicker, and he walked up to the little boy, and he said, "Son! Son, stop it!" And the little boy stopped, confused, turned around, and said, "What is it, sir?" And me, being 12, I looked up at my dad and asked, "Are you still my daddy?" And he reached down on the floor, picked me up, and put me on his lap. The old man said to the little boy, "Why are you doing that? You're just one little boy. How do you think that you are going to fix the lives of all these thousands of starfish? What are you, 12? And my dad said, "I'm your dad, and that's why I couldn't be your father." And the little boy looked the old man straight in the eyes, said, "Well, sir," reached down, picked up a starfish, looked at the starfish, made eye contact with the old man, threw it back into the ocean, and said, "I made a difference to that one." Thank you.
529.